Hello there, I'm Rachel Jones for Kalkine Media. Welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. Today I'm speaking with Guy Danskine, Managing Director of Equinix Australia. Now Equinix is the world's digital infrastructure company. They interconnect industry-leading organizations within finance, manufacturing, mobility, transportation, government, healthcare and education across a cloud-first world. So welcome, Guy, here to tell us more.
Rachel, great to be with you.
Great to chat with you today. Very excited to learning more about Equinix. So what was the motivation behind the inaugural Equinix mining technology report? And can you share any of the findings?
Yeah, of course. And I struggled to do better than your introduction of Equinix, but just to add on there, when we refer to ourselves as the world's digital infrastructure company, what we're referring to there is the 240 data centers we have around the world. We're in 27 countries. But digital has really changed the way that we all interact today, as we've all experienced, especially over the last couple of years. The way we educate, the way we learn, the way we shop, the way we entertain has all changed. And that is absolutely showing up in business and industry as well. And around the mining report. So you referred to the inaugural mining report that Equinix commissioned. So we recently expanded in the Perth market, and obviously mining is a critical sector there, but it's also incredibly important to the Australian economy, as all of your listeners would know. ASX top 10, I think 36% of the market cap as of today is comprised of mining organisations. And so we really just wanted to take a deeper look at that industry and what they were thinking and what their plans were, particularly as it relates to technology for 2022 and beyond.
Well, it's absolutely exciting for the mining sector. So with continued digital transformation that we're seeing there within that sector, such as the integration of artificial intelligence, surveying for new drilling prospects, what role do you think digital infrastructure plays in enabling future mines?
Yeah, so look, really interesting responses came through in the survey. Firstly, the respondents were overwhelmingly positive about the prospects of the mining industry. Probably not surprising given where commodity prices sit today and are expected to go to. But over 90% expected revenue growth in 2022. And we also saw that over a quarter of respondents expected growth of somewhere between 25 to 50%. So really, really strong growth. And I think some of what is underpinning that is some of the technology that you referred to earlier. So artificial intelligence, which essentially uses incredibly large data sets to train machine learning models, is really unlocking value for miners across Australia and indeed the world. There's also other technologies that mining companies are availing of. A great example of that, and one that probably isn't as well known, is autonomous vehicles, so vehicles that drive themselves. Miners in Australia are one of the earliest adopters of those, and so those large mining trucks that we see on those videos for mining companies, most of those are actually driving themselves, and so that creates a safer environment within the mine, and it's a great use of that technology, which is now coming through in the consumer space. The other thing I would add there is just...
Sorry.
No, sorry, Rachel, after you.
No, sorry, carry on, Guy, that's fine.
I was just going to add on that when you consider the enormous amount of data that's being generated and consumed, especially at these mine sites, which most of them are incredibly remote, and so a lot of the collection, analysis and distribution of that data has to take place as close to the mine site as possible. And again, that's really important when you think about things like autonomous vehicles, which do need to interact with each other, and they need to do that real time. And so the sensors and everything else that those trucks in particular contain really does create a kind of data challenge, but also an opportunity for mining organisations.
Well, BHP, for one, recently revealed a $1 billion win from data automation using machine learning. Do you think mining firms have a lot of legacy data that could be unlocked using digital technologies to drive more value?
So, Rachel, that's probably one of the best and most current examples of what we're referring to. So BHP essentially looked through about 100 years worth of exploration data and announced about 6 months ago that they had realised about $1 billion in intrinsic business value. And we're seeing that not just across mining, but candidly all industries that we operate, financial services being another particularly significant opportunity. But when you look at what mining companies have the ability to do and the value that can that BHP example really is a terrific one. The other thing I'll just add on there is that there's also opportunities around safety, how they can grow their production, and as well as reducing costs and training new staff members.
And how do you believe the adoption of technology assists mining companies to meet environmental, social and governance commitments?
So ESG is really important, again, not just to mining, but industries across Australia. However, the miners are definitely more active, I think, than what people give them credit for. And again, one of the resounding themes that came through our survey was that respondents are increasingly prioritising sustainability. I believe 3/4 of them said it was the top priority for them this year and beyond. And increasingly, a number of them are looking at technology for how they can address those goals, because it does go beyond sustainability. So some of the concerns they listed were around reporting, implementation and logistics, and the concern that there may not be the technology support. However, on the upside, they did see that should they solve those issues, the growth and productivity were really some big ticket opportunities in the years ahead.
And obviously, Guy, one big thing on mine sites is safety. So as mine sites become more advanced with the implementation of IoT devices, what functions or process can be taken off site, and will this make sites safer for workers?
Yeah, so I've referred to the autonomous vehicles earlier. I think beyond that, IoT, for those that don't know, is Internet of Things, and this is now being adopted at an industrial scale, and miners are absolutely leading the way there. What we're really seeing is a transformation of the workforce within mines. The roles that are there are increasingly changing and increasingly reliant on technology to do their job efficiently. You mentioned safety. We do see that as being one of the biggest opportunities, and certainly came through in our report that, you know, as an example, drones, which are now used to survey the mining sites. So previously that may have been done with a helicopter or, you know, some form of other surveillance using people, but now with drones able to do that far more efficiently, that creates another safety opportunity for mining operators. And what that does is, when you think about what a drone is showing in terms of the amount of video footage that's capturing in real time, multiple of them, and then distributing that back down to the mine site, that so decisions can be made quickly if needed, really is critical.
Well, it's absolutely a fast-moving space that you are working within there, Guy. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Rachel. Have a lovely Easter.
Thank you. You too. Now, that was Guy Danskine, Managing Director of Equinix Australia. And if you missed any part of that chat, you can catch the full interview on our YouTube channel, Kalkine Media. So make sure to subscribe. I'm Rachel, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.